Hey, what is going on, guys? Maldiva here, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Demo Warlock PvP guide, and I'll also go over the Conduits and Soulbinds that I use for my Demo build in Arena. So starting out with the talents, this is going to be my basic build that I do for 2s and 3s. So Demonic Strength, this thing hits hard. If you do this right after the Tyrant, it's like massive, crazy burst, and I just feel it's better than the other two options in this row. And the 25 one, I always go with the Doom just because it adds a little dot. It also feels kind of awkward if you don't play with a Doom because there's nothing else to really cast on the move besides a few of the instant pets. So I really like the flow of Doom, and also you get the Soul Shard gen every time it does damage. So now, I know back in last expansion, you couldn't refresh Doom over the duration because it would just kind of cancel the tick. But now you actually can, which is the cool part. So you don't have to worry about like waiting for the Doom to tick and then putting a new one. You can just refresh it as many times as you want, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't feel like the other two options are really even like up for consideration in PvP. So for 30, I'm always Demon Armor, no question about that. Dark Pack, maybe for a shorter game, but I don't really think so. Usually the games are kind of long, and Demon Skin is really sick for that. And the 35, I go with the Vile Fiend because the Vile Fiend is a pretty decent damage pet. I use this to buff the Tyrant, and this is on the Fire School, so you can get a lot of people to kick this, which is awesome. So really good to juke if you need to get the kicks out of the way. You can try to cast this and see if they kick it, because then it doesn't lock you out on anything else, and you're free to do what you want. For the 40, I am default into Mortal Coil. I pretty much always play Coil in 2s. Maybe in 3s, sometimes I'll play a Howl. Like if they're casters or something that I need a Howl. But I love Coil, because after the big Tyrant go, we coil them in place just to keep them there a little bit longer. And the heal is also nice. You're kind of free to cast Fears, so I don't really need extra Fears from Howl of Terror. But the Howl is kind of helpful if you want to just run on top of the healer and Howl him right as you drop the Tyrant for the CC and added damage. Now 45, we go Grimoire Felguard. This gives you a second Felguard on a 2-minute cooldown, and it just immediately stuns them. I use this also to buff the Tyrant because it uses his health as well. So boom, these both pets you're used in addition to the others to buff the Tyrant. And then 50, we go for the Demonic Consumption. This is how you get the giant daddies. As you see, it drains the health from all your demons and pets, so that you use all the health amps paired with this talent gives you the massive daddy goes. So you always got to be spec'd into that if you're playing this. I kind of call it the zoo build. We're just going to destroy them with a million pets. So now moving on to the PvP talents, these are the 3 that I default. Call Fell Hunter, you need this as default so you can spell lock. Unless there's nothing to spell lock, then you don't really need it, I guess. But for the most part, there's always going to be a caster, the healer, or something. Nether Ward, if I need to reflect like against casters or even some kicks to guarantee the daddy. A Master Summoner, always to make Dreadstalkers instant. You definitely want to make that spell instant because it's going to slow you down if you make it if you don't make it instant. You try to cast that, you get kicked, and then yeah, you just screw up your daddy go, so you don't want to do that. And then if you're opting out of the Nether Ward, let's say in 2s, if I don't need to play Reflect, I sometimes go Gateway Mastery. I really like this versus warriors and stuff. Helps me get away more and further away, so they can't catch up to me as fast. And let's see, Call Observer, I would do this maybe versus some casters. So Fellord is just terrible. That thing is nerfed to the ground. You don't want to use that. It's awful. Kind of just a waste. Doesn't do anything. But Observer is pretty nice if the team doesn't kill it. It's pretty easy to kill, but you could substitute it for the ward. But I think the ward is just a safer option, so you can kind of reflect and save yourself, and also try to negate some kicks on you if you're trying to summon the daddy or something. And now moving on, so as you can see, I am a Night Fae. I think I really love playing the Night Fae for demo. I go with the Anaya Soulbind because of Grove. We use this Grove to alter our stats to make it instantly refresh the health of my pets with the Battle Master. because this alters your stats, your mastery, and I think that kind of causes them to refresh. So the daddy gets the massive buff from all of your pets, because we have our battle master and the extra health from Grove too, adding on to the damage that the tyrant sucks out of all your pets. And then first conduit, the potency is going to be Fel Commando. Definitely want this one. Gives your Felguard damage. Felguard does a lot of damage. Definitely a lot of damage. And it also reduces it, because you don't want that pet to die, because you have Soul Link, and he's a big part of your go and all that. Your consistent stun, Soul Link. You do not want him to die. So that's very important. And then that gives us the run. It doesn't really do much. Just a little tiny heal when you're in soul shape. But yeah, we just go for the potency conduit. Now for my finesse, I get the reduced cooldown on Feldom. Because if they do kill your pet, you're going to have to rely on this Feldom. It's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to get the summon Felguard off, because everyone's just going to stop that. So we get the almost a 1 minute reduction on Feldom. Brings it down to about 2 minutes, because it's a 3 default. I need to get the higher eye level one. I have the kind of poopy one, but yeah, it's definitely better than nothing. And then we go all the way down to the endurance conduit. I am resolute, so this reduces the cooldown of wall. Very, very nice and to have, because that's pretty much one of your major cooldowns, the only one that you have. So if you can reduce that, you definitely want to take it. So I think it procs quite a bit. I don't even really keep track of it, but yeah, it's definitely nice to have. And then my second potency, I go with Born. I think Born is a pretty consistent trait, because you're Hand of Gul'daning a lot, and you have multiple schools, so you're almost guaranteed to get your Hand of Gul'dan off. But I think maybe if I've been debating if I want to play Tyrant Soul, because I do feel like Tyrant Soul kind of could come into play. It looks really nice. So after your Tyrant, you get this buff. The only problem is the buff is just a magic buff on you, so somebody can steal it if they see like a purgeable debuff, or you're just getting spam purged anyway. That's why I don't really like to use it as much. But yeah, it's pretty sick after your Tyrant go to have even more pet damage coming out. And then the other option is the Carnivorous Stalkers. I have a really low eye level one. I heard it could be pretty decent, but I would rather have my character be a little bit more powerful, which is why I go with Born to get the... It's a pretty high chance to get another Demonic Course proc, which gives the instant Demon Bolt. So it does a little bit of damage. The Demon Bolt isn't really impactful damage-wise, but generates 2 Soul Shards, so you can keep pumping out more pets and getting bigger and bigger Tyrants and just all-around pet damage during the game. But yeah, that is my demo guide, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more content coming up. And also leave suggestions if there's any guides or topics that you want to be covered. And I will see you all in the next video.